Peace and Yah bless. This is Yeremiah ben Israel, servant of Yah, the Holy One of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And today I want to discuss the Ten Commandments and deal with the foundation of Yah's law and just kind of, start fresh and get back to dealing with Yah's law, statutes, and commandments and making that my main focus. Okay, so I'm here in Exodus chapter 20, and I'm going to go over the Ten Commandments and also going to go through various precepts, okay, to substantiate and confirm these laws, statutes, and commandments written here in Exodus chapter 20. Okay, so I want to start, all right, in Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. And it says, And Yah spake all these words, saying, I am Yah thy Holy One, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other. Now, I know it says God's lowercase, but as I dealt with before, okay, in certain places in the book where you see God's in lowercase is going to be referred to as idols. And also in different places in the book, for Exodus chapter 23 verse 28, for example, when you see God's in lowercase there, that's referred to as judges. So, but in this particular chapter and verse, okay, which is the first commandment here in Exodus chapter 20 verse 3, all right, it shall say, in actuality, thou shalt have nothing before me. Okay, and that includes yourself. And anytime you break any one of these commandments which Yah has set before you, okay, presumptuously you have put yourself before the Creator. Okay. All right. So thou shalt have nothing before Yah. Okay. All right. It says, Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, all right, nor serve them, for I am Yah, all right, thy Holy One, am a jealous Holy One, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Okay, so with that, I want to go to Deuteronomy chapter 4. So just give me a second. All right. Second. I think this is. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 4. And I want to start at verse 14. Okay. And this is in reference to graven images. It says, And Yah commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments. This is Moses talking, that ye might do them in the land whither you go over to possess it. Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that Yah spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire, lest ye corrupt yourselves, and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female. Okay, for those who enter the New Testament, okay, who acknowledge the main idol of Christianity, JC, Yeshua, Yahweh Shai, however you want to pronounce his name. Okay, that is the likeness of a man. All right, we shall not give any praise to the likeness of any male or female, because you got people also who's into Christianity, all right, who worships his mother, or so-called Mother Mary. Okay, so this right here knocks out JC, Yeshua, Yahweh Shai, the main idol of Christianity, the New Testament. Because anytime you give anything of, any similitude in the likeness of a man, which JC is, any type of praise, you are breaking the second commandment. All right? All right? The likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flies in the air, the likeness of anything that creeps on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth. Lest you lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when you see the sun, okay, because a lot of you who have done research on Christianity and its paganism, which is a combined a variety of different deities, okay, dating back to ancient Egypt, dealing with Osiris, Isis, and Horus, okay, is based off sun worship, the sun, okay. That's why those of you who are privy to the images of this idol of Christianity, when you look at the pictures and his images, okay, you will always see the sun right directly behind him, the sun, because it's sun worship, okay. All right, and those of you who caught up in the Christianity, do your research on that. Okay, it's all based off sun worship, paganism. All right, and the moon, okay, Islam, okay, in which Allah, which is a moon god or a moon idol, should I say? All right, that's why in the symbol of Islam deals with the crescent moon and the star. All right, which is an abomination to the Most High. All right. Even all the host of heaven should be driven to worship them and serve them which Yah, thy Holy One, have divided unto all nations under the whole heaven. All right. All right. So lest you lift up your eyes, okay, and worship the sun and the moon and the stars, okay, which is totally forbidden in the law. All right. All right. So just want to deal with that. Let me go back to Exodus. Let me deal with that in a minute. Okay. Back in Exodus chapter 20. All right. Verse 7. It says, Thou shalt not take the name of Yah, thy Holy One, in vain. For Yah will not hold him guiltless that takes his name in vain. This is very, very serious. Okay. Because anytime you're dealing with the Most High's name, it must be uplifting, magnifying, and praising his name. Okay. Okay, we cannot take anything, just talk about anything or any subject, all right, and place Yah's name with it. Okay, we have to be very circumspect before we use the name of the Creator. Okay, and you must be able to identify the true name of the Creator, which is Yah. All right, spelled Yahh, the phonetic spelling. Okay, that's how it's pronounced. Okay, and when you go to the old ancient Paleo Hebrew, okay, the correct spelling is Yod He Wah-He, okay, and which is translated in English as YHWH. Okay, Yah's name is one. He doesn't have multiple names. He has one name. Okay, and that name shall not be taken in vain. Okay. All right, verse 8, it says, Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yah, thy Holy One. In it thou shalt not do any work. You, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, and I'm going to deal with that in a second, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. Okay, for in 6 days Yah made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yah blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Okay, now let me go right and deal with this, because in the law, okay, concerning the Sabbath, Yah requires us to stay in our dwelling. Okay, wherever you dwell on the Sabbath day is where you stay. We are not to leave our houses, as is spoken of in Exodus chapter 16, verse 29, and Leviticus 23 and 3, where, it says it's a holy convocation in all our dwellings. Wherever we dwell on the Sabbath day is where we stay. And this is important right here because, you have people that say it's okay to travel. Well, in the time of our forefathers, all right, their main source of transportation was their cattle, all right, their donkey, their camel, their horses. All right. And if your donkey, your camel, or your horse is carrying you on a journey on the Sabbath day, then that cattle is at work and is not resting. Okay. So that's very important. All right. Very important. Now let me go deal with Exodus chapter 31. Okay. Because you have people that say that the Sabbath shouldn't be kept in captivity. All right. So I'm going to start here, verse 12. It says, and Yah spake unto Moses, saying, speak you also unto the children of Israel, saying, verily my Sabbath shall you keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations. Okay, throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am Yah that do sanctify you. You shall keep, all right, the Sabbath, therefore, for it is holy unto you. Everyone that defiles it shall surely be put to death. For whosoever does any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people. Okay, and that's very key here. You shall not defile the Sabbath. Okay, speaking your own words, carrying in your own burdens. Okay, any conflict you have with with another, all right, then you put that to rest on the Sabbath day. For this is a holy convocation, a day, okay, to rest, a day of peace, not a day of strife, not a day of, attacking one another, not a day of going back and forth, okay, not bringing any personal situations in on the Sabbath day, okay, or talking about them, okay. This is a holy day that Yah sanctified, that all human beings, okay, as well as cattle, must rest. Okay, it's a holy convocation. We should be dealing with the law, dealing with prophecy, and resting. Okay, that's what the Holy Sabbath is for. All right, it says 6 days may work be done, but in the seventh is the Sabbath of rest, holy to Yah. Whosoever does any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations for a perpetual covenant. Okay, all right. Everything's before Yah. And Yah knew it was going to come a time when we were going to be scattered to the four corners of the earth. We were going to be in captivity. Okay. But we still acknowledge Yah's Sabbath day. And we keep it. We memorialize it. All right. Now I know there's certain laws in the Sabbath, such as sacrificing, but that only pertains to the Levites. And that will only be done in the temple. There is no temple today. Okay, that is not for all the common people. That's strictly for the Levites to put on the Sabbath offering. Okay. All right. So that is not an excuse not to, all right, observe the Holy Sabbath. Now we understand we don't have the right time, but okay, like it says in Deuteronomy chapter 30, okay, when we return to all this law, okay, we show forth our commitment to the Most High. Okay. And we get in harmony with these laws, statutes, and commandments. We practice them. That way, when we get to the land, okay, and now it's time to, um, you know, do these laws exactly how they will be done, all right, then we will already be prepared for it. So this is why we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, and we'll observe the Sabbath day, all right. Verse 17, it is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. All right. When does forever end? All right. Forever does not end. All right. So I'm back here in Exodus chapter 20. All right. Verse 12. All right. It says, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which Yah thy Holy One gives you. All right. So, like it says in the law, we're not to curse our mother or our father. We're not to smite our mother and our father. And we must definitely be obedient to them when it's in righteousness. Okay, now if you want to be a rebellious son, okay, when your father and your mother, okay, enforce the law, then this is what will happen to you. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 21. Verse 18. It says, if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son which will not obey the voice of his father, which is in righteousness, okay, because, okay, if your father and your mother is not about the law, okay, and they command you to do something that's contrary to Yah's law, well, of course you won't obey them, okay? You won't obey that command, okay? But you do when it's in righteousness, okay? All right, so which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastised him will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of his city and unto the gate of his place. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is a stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard, or wherever the case may be. Okay, all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So you shall put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. Okay, so that's the consequence, all right, for a rebellious son who will not obey the voice of his father or his mother when it's in righteousness. All right. So let's go back to Exodus chapter 20. It says, verse 13, thou shalt not murder. This is a mistranslation. It shouldn't say thou shalt not kill. It should say thou shalt not murder. Okay, and to murder someone presumptuously is what this is referring to. Okay, because there's a law when someone accidentally kills someone. Okay, over here in Exodus, all right, chapter 21, verse 12, it says, he that smites a man that he die shall surely be put to death. All right, if a man lie not in wait, but Yah deliver him into his hand, then I will appoint thee a place whither ye shall flee. And those who privy to the law in the land, all right, if someone accidentally kills someone, let's say if a man is swinging an axe, okay, and the head of the axe falls off or, flies off and kills a man, then Yah has, all right, appointed refuge cities where a person may flee, all right, until the high priest dies, then he can return, all right. It says, but if a man come presumptuously upon his neighbor to slay him with guile, thou shalt take him from mine altar that he may die. Okay, so premeditated murder will not be tolerated. Okay, but involuntary manslaughter, okay, let's say, like I said, if it's accidental, then that person will not be put to death, but Yah will appoint to him a place of refuge where he may flee. All right. It says, thou shalt not commit adultery. All right. Now, committing adultery is when a man takes a woman who already has a husband, or if a woman goes aside of her husband and takes another man, that is adultery. Okay. It is not when a man has a wife and takes a woman who is not betrothed or who does not have a husband. Okay. That is not adultery. Adultery is when a man takes another man's wife, or if a woman goes aside of her husband and sleeps with another man. Okay, so I want to make that clear. All right. Verse 15, thou shalt not steal. Okay, self-explanatory. If it's not yours, don't take it. And this also refers to kidnapping. All right, as it talks about here in Exodus chapter 21. Where is it at? Verse 16. It says, and he that steals a man and sells him, okay, kidnapping for ransom, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Okay? So there is no kidnapping for ransom. All right? Verse 16, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Okay, do not be an unrighteous witness. Okay, do not follow a multitude to do wickedness. Don't raise up a false report against your neighbor. Okay, all right. Also, don't twist judgment. Okay, you judge according to the law. Don't be a false witness to twist judgment. Okay, that's forbidden. And last but definitely not least, okay, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. You shall not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. And I wanted to highlight that last part. Anything. You shall not covet anything of your neighbor. Okay, and that's one of the main problems with the children of Israel today and here in captivity. Okay, because this is what a lot of people get killed over. Okay, this is why people rob and stealing and committing murder and doing all types of wickedness because of covetousness. Wanting what another person has, wanting another man's wife, wanting another man's riches. Okay, and Esau promulgates this type of nonsense. That's why he's spent so much time pumping money into the entertainment industry. Okay, and giving these Israelites, these sellout Israelites money. Okay, so they can throw it up in their own people's faces and oppress them. Okay, and people will do whatever it takes to try to obtain that type of status, even if it means killing their own brothers and sisters. Okay, so this law is very serious. It is not to be taken lightly. It's a way of life. Okay, that all mankind must do these laws, statutes, and commandments and obey them with all their heart and soul. Okay, so with that, blessed be Yah, the Holy One of Israel, strong one of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the creator of all existence. May his name be praised throughout the earth, and may Jerusalem return. All praise to Yah, the Holy One of Israel. Yah bless. Peace.